Hi, today we're going to do a homework problem for week 8. So we're looking at 3.4, number 10. So take a moment and read through the problem, and I'll copy down some important information. Okay, so let's take a look at our problem. So we're given that 1/2 is a 0. So we want to do synthetic division with 1/2. Okay. So let's set that up. Alright, now that it's set up, remember our process. We take the first one and drop it down. Then we multiply. 2 times 1/2 will give us a 1. And then you add down. Then you multiply. Then you add. You multiply. And you add. So our result is a remainder of 0, which is what we expected because we were told that 1/2 is a 0. What we're going to get from this is a new equation that we can use. So these are the coefficients of our new equation. It's going to be 1 degree less than the one we started with. So we're going to have 2x squared plus 16x plus 30. Okay, so now we can use quadratic formula if we want. We can factor, we can complete the square, whatever techniques we want to use there. So let's call this g of x. Okay. I'm going to see if we can factor it. So we're going to take out the 2. Okay. So now x squared plus 8x plus 15. Two numbers that multiply to 15 and add up to 8 would be 5 and 3. So we'll have x plus 5, x plus 3. Okay. So if we have this equal to 0, then each piece here is going to give us a part of the result. So we'll get x is equal to -5 and x is equal to -3. And we also know that 1/2 is a 0. Okay, so we can write our polynomial now. So back to the f of x. We need the 2 that we factored out. Then we'll have x plus 5, x plus 3, and then this x minus 1/2. Alright, so we have several things to look at in deciding how to make a graph of this. One thing, we know where it crosses the x-axis. That was at -5, -3.5. Alright. we can look at our original polynomial. Sometimes it's easier to see here for end behavior. So it's an odd degree with a positive leading coefficient. So what that tells me is that my end behavior is going to be like this. Like a cubic. Okay. So here are things that I know. Now I'm going to have to use some test points to figure out what happens to my graph. So I'm going to just sketch a graph real quick here. Excuse my line. So we're going to have x is -5, -3, 1/2. So -5, -3, 1/2. Okay, I know it comes up from below. It's going to cross here, and I know it's going to leave coming this way. But I want to figure out what happens between these two. My guess is this, but let's make sure. So let's take x of -4 and see what happens. Okay, so multiply or simplify it. -4 halves, -8, -9 halves. So I'll put in the calculator. I'm getting out 9. That makes sense. So between these two, I get up to 9. Then I can pick a test point between these two. Let's say x of -1. Okay. So here I get 2 times 4 times 2 times -3 halves. So I'll put in the calculator. I get -24. So it's going to go very far down, off our picture down, and then come back. Okay, so let's go ahead and enter this information into my math lab. The remaining zeros are -5, -3. Completely factored form, we got 2 times x plus 5, x plus 3, x minus 1/2. So now we have to sketch the graph. So looking at these graphs, this has the right end behavior, this has the right end behavior, but if we look closely at these intercepts here, I should have intercepts at -5, -3, and 1/2. which looks like D. Let's get closer. Yeah. Okay. All right. I hope that this was helpful.